It is the 375th consecutive home sellout, including postseason. That's an NFL high, a streak that dates back to RFK Stadium and Griffith Stadium. Baltimore just won the toss. They have deferred. Washington will receive. And for the Redskins, it'll be Niles Paul, a second-year man from Nebraska, fifth-round pick last year. He replaces Brandon Banks, who is inactive today. Last week, Paul returned a kickoff, a career-long 39 yards, and that's the rookie out of Texas, Justin Tucker, about to get things underway. The 6-6 Redskins with 3 straight wins. The 9-3 Ravens off the loss last week, but they have won 4 of the last 5 games, and a deep kick. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. So here comes RG3 as we take a look at his offensive line. Left tackle Trent Williams come on strong in recent games. Backs and receivers, host of weapons. Pierre Garçon coming off a superb game against the Giants. 8 catches, 106 yards, including a touchdown. So here we go. Running backs Alfred Morris and Darrell Young. And it is Morris breaking to the outside and gets out near midfield. Hauled down by the left corner, Corey Graham. And on the very first play, the rookie from Florida Atlantic goes for 29.
And you get so focused on stopping RG3 that what happens is you lose track of the back right at the middle of the hole. Everybody has their eyes on Robert Griffin III. You see nice cutoffs on the backside, and Alfred Morris is up on the second level before you know what happens. That's the problem. So much of the focus and emphasis is on Robert Griffin III.
Joshua Morgan, flank to the left at the bottom of your screen. And again, it is Morris. And again, Morris breaks tackle. Morris to the 30-yard line. Flag is down, but 2 terrific runs by the rookie Morris. Ed Reed made the tackle. It's a 21-yard run, but let's see if it holds up.
Well, remember now in the past, the Ravens have really struggled defending this outside zone.
So they will bring it back as we check out the Ravens defensively. Up front, Lodi Nahta, the Pro Bowl defensive end the last 3 years. Linebackers, as we mentioned earlier, the rookie out of Alabama, Courtney Upshaw, starting for the injured Terrell Suggs. And the secondary, big test for RG3, facing future Hall of Famer Ed Reed for the very first time. There's Suggs. He thought he would give it a go, and then this morning, he and John Harbaugh talked about it, and they changed their mind. As the pass is completed to Garçon, has a first down. Pierre Garçon with his 24th catch of the year, and he's doing it despite a sprained right foot.
And you think about the difference with Pierre Garçon in the lineup. They're 5-1 without him, just 1-5, and he's the guy that I think Robert Griffin III is most comfortable with right now in the passing game.
People in the Washington area so excited about the Redskins. This is a team that have not made the playoffs since 2007. They did it as a wild card. They lost to Seattle. This is Evan Royster on an inside handoff, trying to bounce it. Royster, second-year man out of Penn State, picked up 3, stopped by Brendan Ibedejo, who is playing for Daniel Ellerby, who's sidelined by injury. Ibedejo, usually a special teams player.
Yeah, they've struggled a little bit, Marv, when you think about the Ravens defensively with the zone scheme. I mean, you go back to some of the games that we saw earlier in the season. I mean, they've been getting gashed. Kansas City, Dallas, Houston all had over 200 yards. That's going to be the problem today, stopping this zone run scheme.
Griffin looking at a second down and 7. Once again, Morris picked up 5. And as you mentioned earlier, he's the guy who looks like he runs angry.
Yeah, he really does. He runs with the head of steam. You look at the problems that they've had defensively. I mean, it's not your typical Ravens run defense, and that's a problem. Now, the good news for Raven fans, it's been picked up here the last 4 weeks. They have played better. You go back to those games where they really struggled against Kansas City, Dallas, and Cleveland. And it's nice to get him back. He's back on the practice field this week. Ray Lewis, the general. And I think that's going to help him. I think he's getting close to being back on the field.
And he's eligible to return next week. 3rd down and 2. Morris hits the left side and has another 1st down as he goes for 6 more, met by Janelle McClain, the inside linebacker.
You know, a lot of the focus has been on Robert Griffin III, but if you really go back and you study the problems that the Redskins have had the last couple of years, it's their inability to run the football. I mean, they finally got the running game turned around. They were 30th 2 years ago, 25th last year. Currently, they're 1st, and actually they're on pace to set a franchise record for most rushing yards in a season. And it's not all RG3, Alfred Morris, with already over 1,100 yards.
There's his fake handoff and the flip to Garcon. He explodes to the 10, to the 5, and taken out of bounds. Taken out by the strong safety, Bernard Pollard.
I think this is a very difficult offense to prepare for because you just can't simulate the speed and the pace and the timing. It happens so quick. You look at the screen, it's just really, it happens so fast. It's just going to work right back outside. You see the kick-out blocks down the field, and then Garcon, he's right upfield. Look at the lineman downfield.
23-yard gain and a 1st and goal at the 1. Hand off to Morris. It appeared he lost his balance. It's a slippery field. It's been raining throughout the day. They do expect light rain later on. And Morris not able to get going, lost 3 on the play.
And I think the field, when you look at the field, I think it's worse between the hashes. That's really where you're going to have problems where the big 300-pound offensive linemen have been taking up big divots. Had some rain here earlier, so it's kind of slick, I think, more so in the middle of the field.
Raven defense, very tough in the red zone. Give up a lot of yards, but it's been a different story when you get within the 20. Out of the gun, Griffin throwing end zone. And it is deflected, incomplete. Intended for Leonard Hankerson, the 2nd-year player out of Miami.
Boy, it took a little while to develop, and RG3's just trying to float this one over. It kind of hangs up there. It's back shoulder throw, makes it very difficult for Leonard Hankerson. That's fortunate that ball wasn't picked off after the deflection.
3rd down and goal just inside the 5-yard line.
Good look at Mike and Kyle Shanahan. Doing a great job adjusting their system to fit this rookie quarterback.
Son Kyle, the offensive coordinator for the Redskins. Griffin taking a long look and fires. Touchdown, Washington. Joshua Morgan on the catch. 4-yard pass play, and the Redskins with a very impressive opening drive.
And Robert Griffin III, just too much time back there in the pocket. The Ravens without Terrell Suggs, you don't have that one dominant pass rusher right now. That's going to put more pressure on that secondary and their pass defense. You look at Josh Morgan, he's just going to work all the way back under. He's working against linebackers, and again, too much time here for that defense. Got to be able to generate a pass rush against a quarterback like RG3.
Kyle Forbath with the extra point. 10 plays, 80 yards. RG3 throwing his 18th touchdown pass of the season. You see that drive by the Redskins and the rookie Alfred Morris. Very instrumental. 5 carries, 50 yards. And it concluded with the touchdown pass to Joshua Morgan from Robert Griffin III. Jacoby Jones back deep. One of the best return men in the NFL, averaging 34 yards per return, and picks it up at the 1. Try to go sideline and run out of bounds. Picked up 18. So we'll take a break. When we come back, the Ravens to the offense for the first time.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Garmin, this holiday season, give a Garmin the most trusted name in GPS navigation. And by the all-new Ford Fusion. Go further.
This is only the 5th time Redskins and Ravens have met. Ravens have won 3 of the previous 4. The last matchup back in December of 2008. A game won by the Ravens as Ray Rice gets the call and picks up 5. Had only 12 carries last week. Josh Wilson able to make the stop. And a look at the offensive line. Left tackle Michael Orr dealing with the Ravens sack leader Ryan Kerrigan. The backs and the receivers. Will Ray Rice see the ball more often this afternoon?
I would think so. It's that time of the year where he needs to start getting busy.
Well, here is Rice again with a second straight and breaks free. It's a foot race. Rice into Washington territory, taken down at the 30-yard line by Medeo Williams, the free safety, and Rice rips off a 46-yard run.
And this is what they really need. You talk about you've got to be able to defend the cutback when you play against a team like the Ravens and a back like Ray Rice. And if you watch down the end of the field here, if Torrey Smith gets a better block, Ray Rice may score. He's a little indecisive trying to block that safety.
There has been so much conversation in Baltimore as to why Ray Rice has not carried the ball more. What he gets it the first 3 times, another hole, and once again running room as he brings inside the 20, another Raven first down.
Well, you look at Ray Rice, and this is that time of the year. We've talked to Cam Cameron about a concerted effort, I think, to be a little bit more run heavy here. Now that they're in the month of December, when the weather starts to change, this is when this guy gets busy.
And that 46-yard run, his longest of the season. He goes to the sideline, yet arrests Bernard Pierce, rookie from Temple, who has played well recently, is in the lineup, and the handoff to Pierce. So they start out on the ground, but Pierce is turned back by the nose tackle Barry Cofield. Redskins defensively with Jarvis Jenkins, who has made it back from knee surgery. Linebackers, London Fletcher, Washington's leading tackler, still going strong in the secondary. How about D'Angelo Hall on crutches all week, but he's back from a severely sprained ankle. 2nd and 11. Pierce remains in the backfield. Now Flacco looks to throw off the pump, fires, end zone. It is caught by Anquan Boldin. Touchdown, Ravens. Anquan Boldin, the 3-time Pro Bowl wide receiver. The Ravens leading pass catcher with a beautiful move.
A little double move on D'Angelo Hall. We know he was on crutches earlier in the week. You've got to find out about him early. D'Angelo was expecting help from the safety, Medeo Williams, but Williams late getting over there. A really nice throw by Joe Flacco in the back of the end zone.
19-yard touchdown pass play and a nice way to go over the 10,000 receiving yards mark for Anquan Boldin. He's only 6 away coming in. Justin Tucker adding the extra point. What a start here at FedEx Field. Excitement at both ends, and the game is tied at 7.
Well, when you go back and look at the scoring play, a couple things. I'm a little surprised that D'Angelo Williams isn't firm a little bit more with the press, knowing that he's got help over the top. You're going to see it out and up, but there's no number 2 receiver working down the seam, so there's no reason why Medeo Williams, the safety, isn't more over the top defending this double move. He's got his eyes in the backfield, and in talking with Joe Flacco on Friday, he said we see that a lot with both the corners and the safeties of the Washington Redskins. They play with their eyes in backfield, trying to be aggressive, trying to make a play on the ball.
And for Joe Flacco's 16th touchdown pass of the season, this is Niles Paul on the return. able to bring across the 16, a 20-yard return. Here comes Robert Griffin III, the Redskins' second possession of the day.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Upgrade your human specifications with Droid DNA. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Back at FedEx Field, Marv Albert, Rich Gannon, Redskins, and the Ravens are tied at 7. And Griffin will throw. A sliding attempt is made, incomplete. Niles Paul, who returned that kick a moment ago, is the backup tight end. So it'll be a second down and 10.
Well, you just don't see him this wide open. I mean, Niles Paul is going to work all the way across the formation. Look how wide open he is. I mean, if he just throttles it down there, it's a little bit easier to throw for RG3, but he's got to make that one. Well, you don't get him that wide open at this level.
Robert Griffin III, 67% completion, 18 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, 6 rushing touchdowns. And an academic All-American from Baylor. And Griffin throws. Santana Moss wide open. First down and more, picked up 31.
Well, the play action is what gets you. You see the freeze of these linebackers. They're looking at the action, and then they get big plays in the passing game. You see Santana Moss working all the way across the formation again. I mean, look at that's wide open. I don't know how else to say it. When you have that much room between the sidelines and the defender, and again, it's the play action freeze on the linebackers that really opens up a hole for Santana Moss.
Redskins first down at their 48-yard line. Morgan in motion. It's Morris. This time he's bottled up.
We've got some well-rested running backs with some fresh legs, and you look at the yards per attempt. I mean, Ray Rice averaging over 20 yards a carry. Right now, Alfred Morris over 10 yards a carry. You've got 2 defensive coordinators right now scrambling, trying to formulate a way to make some adjustments to stop the run.
And Rice coming up with his longest run of the season for 46 yards. Alfred Morris, as you saw, off to the fast start. 2nd and 6 for Washington. Off the fake, Griffin flipped it. Hankerson, the wide receiver coming from the far side, picked up 3 on the play. And a flag is down. The referee is John Parry in his 6th year as an NFL referee.
Illegal block in the back. Number 15, offense. 10-yard penalty. Will replay. 2nd down.
On the whiteout, Joshua Morgan.
A little indecision here by RG3. It looks like it took a while to decide whether or not to give it to Alfred Morris. You saw the close right there on the backside by Courtney Upshaw. And he is late getting this one out to his running back, Keelan Williams.
RG3 telling us yesterday when he first reported to the Redskins last spring, head coach Mike Shanahan told him, hey, we're going to have an opportunity in an offense that no other NFL quarterback has ever tried, and that has certainly been the case with all kinds of variations. RG3 able to recover as he took a bump, and then it is incomplete. Now the flag is down. Might have been a defenseless hit. See, he lost his helmet in the process. Was that not Tom? Arthur Jones.
There's 2 fouls on the play which will offset. Intentional grounding. Number 10 of the offense, who was out of the pocket, and the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 92, who led with the crown of the helmet. Penalties will offset. 2nd down.
So it was Nata who caught Griffin in the helmet.
Well, RG3 doesn't get this ball back to the line of scrimmage. It goes right in the ground. That's a big hit right there by Haloti Ngata. Actually knocks the helmet off of Robert Griffin III. Well, you got to be able to protect yourself. I thought that was actually a pretty good hit. He hits him right in the chest. Actually knocks the helmet off. And look at Mike Shanahan. He's not at all happy about it.
So the ball is back at the 45-yard line. A second down and 13. Morris and Young in the backfield. And Griffin fires. It is caught. Hankerson on the catch inside the 30, goes for 29. He was hauled down by the free safety, Ed Reed.
Boy, the play action has been so effective for the Washington Redskins. I mean, these linebackers are late getting in their drops because they're so concerned about Alfred Morris and Robert Griffin III.
Richard, talking about this most unusual or unique offense being used by the Redskins. We've heard about the pistol. Of course, it's variations of the option. Very few quarterbacks, particularly rookies, could run this as Alfred Morris carries inside the 25-yard line. Ravens try to knock it free. It's a gain of 5 for Morris. Right here, we're set for an update. JB.
Dallas is playing a hot Cincinnati team.
And Rich, look how easy this touchdown pass is. Andy Dalton, his 25th of the year, almost hands it off. Shovel pass to Andrew Hawkins. He goes 8 yards for a touchdown. 7-3 Cincinnati.
Say count that as a pass.
That's
right?
a pass, baby.
I know Rich agrees with you. Back to Marv Albert.
All right, JB, you see the wild card contenders. Cincinnati in the hunt. Nice fake by Griffin. Throws on the run. It's caught by Morgan. Tries to barrel his way in, refusing to go down. Redskins claiming that he did get in, but no official call. And apparently they say he is out of bounds at the 1. Picked up 21, but Joshua Morgan would not be stopped.
Well, he just keeps churning. Now he gets some help from his teammates. They're starting to push him. I think that left foot of his may have stepped out. Just keep an eye. He's trying. Great effort by Josh Morgan.
First and goal for Washington at the 1. And here is Morris. Touchdown, Redskins. Alfred Morris, a powerful runner, so tough to bring down, averaging just under 5 yards per carry, and Morris able to check out the hole and bring it across.
Yeah, not a lot of dancing with the back like Alfred Morris. He runs hard behind his pads. He gets low. And he finds a way to extend that ball over the goal line.
Solid block by the left guard, Corey Lichtensteiger. And here is Forbath. Puts it through. It's been action-packed, just under 3 to go. Here in the first quarter. 7 plays, 83 yards. Redskins, 4 minutes, 10 seconds for this touchdown drive. 8 plays, 83 yards. And the rookie from Florida Atlantic, a school located in South Florida, Boca Raton, Alfred Morris with his 7th touchdown of the season. Redskins have a 14-7 lead. Jacoby Jones is the deep man. Line drive kick. And here comes Jones across the 10. Picks up a block to the 20. He has blazing speed. Run out of bounds by D'Angelo Hall. He goes for 38 on that return. Tonight on CBS, don't miss a heart-stopping final challenge on The Amazing Race season finale tonight. Only CBS.
We talked about the importance of the Baltimore Ravens starting fast on the road. It's not something they've typically done, but you look at that first drive, excellent drive, good mix of pass and run, and got Ray Rice going. Of course, Joe Flacco finished it off with that beautiful pass to Anquan Bolden.
Ray Rice carried first 3 times. Rice and Leach in the backfield, but flags come flying. Looks to be the left guard, John Reed.
Start. Number 76. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It is Reed making his 4th straight start playing for the injured Bobby Williams.
You know, what a discrepancy when you look at their home record versus their road record. I mean, look at the points per game, offensive touchdowns, total yards. It's been a problem, and a lot of it is because they've gotten behind early on the road.
1st and 15. Short set by Flacco, and then he fires one deep down the right side. It is incomplete. Intended for Torrey Smith, covered by the right corner, Josh Wilson. How about the Redskins thus far in the first quarter? And as you can see, 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. They have 183 yards in the quarter, the most by any team in the first quarter this season.
Yeah, a little bit better throw there too, Marv. He may score. I mean, Torrey Smith has to slow down for that. When you watch the Ravens, we know 2 or 3 times a quarter they're going to take a shot down the field to Torrey Smith.
Delayed handoff, Rice. Just 3 on the play. Stopped by DJ Johnson. Last year, Ray Rice ran for 1,300 yards, 76 catches, slightly less of a role this year. As we mentioned earlier, it's been a major topic of conversation in Baltimore.
But there's been a master plan for Ray Rice all along. I mean, they didn't want to abuse him in the first half of the season. You got to look at Cam Cameron. He knows how to do this. He's been through this before with LaDainian Tomlinson in San Diego, who never missed a game and who was really at his best late in the year. They know what they're doing with Ray Rice.
Although Ray does say it's the best he's felt this late in the season in his 5-year career. Looked like a timeout was indicated by Joe Flacco. Flags are down. It appeared Flacco was attempting to call for time.
It came
prior to the delay game. Timeout. Baltimore.
So he wasn't able to avoid the delay of game. We'll be back to FedEx Field in a moment. 3rd and 12 coming up for the Ravens. They were beaten last week at home by the Steelers. They'd won their previous 4. Incredibly, the Ravens have not lost back-to-back games since back in 2009. That's a stretch of 54 straight games.
Yeah, they don't stay in a funk for very long, do they?
Flacco able to complete to the tight end, Dennis Pitta, but short of a first down. That was not the primary receiver. Everyone else covered. So Pitta on the reception, stopped by Hall, picked up 9, and the punting unit will check in.
It's amazing. We just looked at D'Angelo Hall a second ago. It's a guy that was on crutches on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, was able to do very little at practice on Friday, and now he's out here starting on Sunday for the Redskins.
This is Sam Cook. Outstanding punter for the Ravens over the years. Kicking from his 26-yard line, Richard Crawford, the rookie out of SMU. Back forward. Crawford with some good moves. Gets across the 25. He's replaced Brandon Banks as the punt return man. Sean Considine able to make the stop. For complete pro football coverage, including everything you need to know from this weekend's matchups all the way through Super Bowl 47, visit cbssports.com/NFL. Redskins start out from their 27-yard line. I mentioned this a moment ago, 183 total yards in the first quarter for RG3 and his Redskins. Most in the NFL this season for a first quarter. Play fake. Griffin. Thought he would be able to escape. You could hear the Baltimore contingent of this crowd react as Paul Kruger comes up with the sack. Paul Kruger, 4-year man out of Utah. leads the Ravens in sacks at 7.5 for the season, and that makes for a loss of 8.
Yeah, really a two-man route, and there's just everybody's covered. They've got help over the top. He's got nowhere to go with the football, and he takes a sack. Went to the well one too many times with that play action on first down.
Ball is back at the 19. It's a 2nd and 18. And now Morris up near the 30. Gain of 11. Jameel McLean makes the stop as this first quarter winds down. So that is the end of the first. Redskins 14 and the Ravens 7. Lots of activity. I know there are many folks who are referring to this game as a rivalry, but these two teams meeting only for the 5th time, and due to the different conferences and the Ravens moving from Cleveland back in 1996, it's only the 17th season in Baltimore, and the fact that the Redskins have not been relevant in recent years. But for the fans, obviously, it is a rivalry. That is underthrown on 3rd down and 7. Pass intended for Garcon. So the Redskins will punt away, and Jacoby Jones will come out of the field, have that beautiful return. 186 total yards for Washington in the first quarter. Those are the final numbers. 110 passing, 76 rushing. Sav Rocca with the punt and hangs it up there. Good coverage on Jones. 57-yard punt and a 10-yard return. Redskins with a 14-7 lead on the Ravens. Linebacker London Fletcher of the Redskins appearing in his 237th consecutive game. That's tied with Rondé Barber, longest active streak in the NFL, and it's his 196th consecutive start. Bernard Pierce gets the call, and it's Fletcher on the tackle. We were talking about this yesterday with RG3, and he pointed out, he did the arithmetic, he was 8 years old when London Fletcher entered the league, and Alfred Morris at the age of 9 at the time.
Yeah, I think it's no coincidence that they decided to put RG3's locker right next to London Fletcher. Why not learn from a veteran?
Pierce looking to bounce it. And London Fletcher was a Pro Bowl alternate 11 times as a penalty marker down before his first as a genuine Pro Bowl player, and he'd been calling himself
holding number 81. Offense, 10-yard penalty, will replay. 2nd down.
Calling Anquan Bolden of the Ravens. London had been calling himself the NFL version of Susan Lucci, who had won a daytime Emmy back in 1999 in her 19th attempt. So after 11 shots as an alternate, which was a nice honor, but not quite the full Pro Bowl honor situation.
Well, he's a special player. I mean, you think about Sam Mills, Mike Singletary. I think he's in that same category in terms of great inside linebackers. And I think defensive coordinator Jim Haslett paid him the best compliment, the best player I've ever coached.
2nd out and 17, and that pass sails high over the head of Torrey Smith. Haslett making mention that particularly for a linebacker, he never coached a guy who was so into the game plan and had such an understanding of what takes place.
And his ability to make adjustments in game. Jim Haslett will tell him, I want to blitz versus this formation. If we don't get it, get me out of the blitz. And London Fletcher has the ability to do that. He's the air traffic controller for that defense.
Flacco looking at a 3rd and 13. Early second quarter. Redskins with a 14-7 lead, and a flag is tossed.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 97, in the neutral zone, which created the movement by the offense.
Called on
5-yard penalty.
Lorenzo Alexander.
Well, they're doing everything they can to get a jump start here. You look at the Redskins, they don't have a dominant pass rusher either. They lost Brian Arakpo. That really hurt them. Kerrigan's a different type of player. He plays more on the close side, the tight end side, more of a power rusher. So they don't have that dominant rusher. And what they've had to do is bring 5 and 6 to generate a pass rush.
3rd and 8. Flacco out of the gun. Able to dump it off underneath. Rice battling toward the marker, but appears to have come up short. Picked up 7-8 yards. Fletcher and Riley combined to make the tackle.
You got a really good spot
Oh,
there.
he did get the spot.
You got a really favorable spot. And they're going to jump the ball.
So the no huddle on this 1st and 10. Pierce returns to the backfield. Flacco swings it out to Pierce, and he is submarined. Beautiful tackle by the left corner, D'Angelo Hall, and there's no gain on that play.
Well, they really like this Bernard Pierce. I mean, he's a nice young back. You see Flacco late to kick it out, but watch this tackle by D'Angelo Hall. That's a perfect form tackle for a corner. You've got to be a run support player to play corner in Jim Haslett's defense.
Pierce, a rookie from Temple, a 3rd-round pick. He's come on the last couple of weeks, filling in for Ray Rice. Deep drop by Flacco to a sideline, has a 1st down. Smith able to put a move on. Smith is taken down at the 45 by Hall, and that's good for 21. Torrey Smith, 2nd-year man from Maryland. And Joe Flacco saying that his route running has gotten better and better as the season has progressed.
He's doing a better job finishing coming down the sidelines. You see him jump the ball again here.
Once again, they go no huddle, and it's Bernard Pierce picking up 7.
Well, Joe Flacco loves the no huddle. He told us on Friday if it were up to him, they'd be in it 100% of the time. He really feels like Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator, gets in a rhythm. They just roll. And they've got a sequence of plays that come in. He's got a handful of run checks, a handful of pass checks, and really what Joe does, he's going to preview the front and the rotation of that secondary to decide whether or not to run the ball strong or weak, or in fact throw the football.
2nd down and 3 for the Ravens. And the handoff to the fullback, Vontae Leach. 2-yard gain for Leach.
Well, you look at Joe Flacco, and you get the sense that this is an offense that's trying to develop a personality. It's still evolving. They have that 2-back offense that features Ray Rice in the running game. They've got the play action. And then, of course, they've got this up-tempo, more wide-open offensive attack. That's what I think Joe Flacco prefers, but there's been a bit of a struggle in terms of who they are as an offense.
Movement, a lot of finger-pointing, and a flag. Well, in the past, because Baltimore has had such an outstanding defense, they've been able to be so successful, even though Flacco is...
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, results, 1st down.
Look to be Jarvis Jenkins, the left defensive end, and it's a 1st down for Baltimore. Now, Flacco will not knock you over with his numbers. Solid quarterback. He's taken criticism in Baltimore. Still a contract out there, and there are questions as to what his future will be with the Ravens.
Yeah, but he's got a strong conviction, Marv, and a confidence that the change in philosophy on offense is the way to go. I mean, there was a concerted effort to be more wide open, more explosive. They felt that they were too conservative and too predictable at times in the running game.
1st down from the Washington 31. Flacco getting protection, throws deep downfield, touchdown, Baltimore. Anquan Bolden with his 2nd touchdown catch of this 1st half. 31-yard pass play and a beautifully thrown ball by Flacco.
Well, a really nice job. You talk about scheme and design. What they're trying to do is fool the safety. Freeze it for a second. They're going to run the slant, and then up. They have the seam going up the other side. So Joe Flacco is going to move the safety, and he's going to throw the ball to Anquan Bolden up the seam. But really nice job holding the safety by pumping Torrey Smith on the slant and go.
Here is Justin Tucker for the extra point. Anquan Baldwin. 2 catches, 50 yards, both for touchdowns. And the game is tied.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bose, the official home audio sponsor of the NFL. T. Rowe Price, understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence. And by Audi, truth in engineering.
What a start for Anquan Boldin, 3-time Pro Bowl wide receiver. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. See the scoring drive, 9 plays, 77 yards. 5 minutes into the second quarter, and the game is tied at 14. Niles Paul awaits the kick, and he'll stay right there. Well, coming up on the Verizon halftime report, join JV, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Well, coming into today, the Ravens would clinch a playoff spot with a win here over the Redskins in either a Pittsburgh or Cincinnati loss or tie. And the Ravens would win the AFC North with a win over Washington, and both Pittsburgh and Cincinnati losing. Redskins just trying to stay in the hunt in terms of the wild card in the NFC. Alfred Morris gets the call. Paul Kruger on the tackle, so Morris picked up 4.
You look at Alfred Morris, not the first rookie running back to have success under Mike Shanahan. In fact, he's had 5 rookies that have rushed for over 1,000 yards. You go back to Terrell Davis, Alandis Gary, Mike Anderson, Clinton Portis, all with the Denver Broncos. And you look at, there's a great running back coach here, Bobby Turner, guy that coached all of them. He's with Mike in Denver.
Number 36, the fullback, Darrell Young in motion, ends up in the backfield as a blocker. The handoff to Morris, fumbles the ball. It is loose. It is picked up by the Ravens. Picked up by Paul Kruger, and it's Baltimore ball inside the 15-yard line. Alfred Morris, who has fumbled 3 times the last 6 games, losing 2, make it 7, and a loss of a 3rd fumble.
Well, he was doing a good job. He was keeping 2 hands on the ball. It just slipped at the end, and the Redskins have done a great job taking care of the football. Just 2 turnovers in the last 5 games, and just 11 all season. Very uncharacteristic for Alfred Morris.
Big hit from Kimoe Atu, the nose tackle. And the Ravens with a 1st and 10 inside the 15 with an opportunity to take the lead. Bernard Pierce, the running back. Jacoby Jones flanked wide to the right. And a timeout is called. Timeout, Washington. 3rd fumble lost this season by the rookie Alfred Morris. So Baltimore 1st and 10 inside the Washington 15. Deep drop by Flacco. He fires. Incomplete. Pass intended for Jacoby Jones. Ravens trying to use the speed of Jones. That pass thrown low. There was pressure from Ryan Kerrigan.
Wow, he just needed another split second. Ryan Kerrigan, he beats Michael Orr. Flacco would have had another split second. He may have been able to make that throw. Really nice rush there by Ryan Kerrigan. He's got 6.5 sacks for the Redskins this season.
Once again, Jones right, Smith left. Flacco 6 of 9, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the handoff is bobbled. It appears the Ravens able to recover. Bernard Pierce, 3 captures.
Well, this is kind of unusual. Joe Flacco, it actually hits the forearm of Pierce. Flacco misses the exchange between the back and himself. I thought the ball may have been slick, but as he goes to put it into his running back's arms, he winds up hitting him in the right forearm.
Now Ray Rice is checked back in and splits wide to the right for this 3rd and 10. From the gun, long look, Flacco throws, end zone, touchdown! Dennis Pitta, the tight end, has given the Ravens the lead. It's a 14-yard pass play, and Joe Flacco has looked very sharp in this first half.
Yeah, both quarterbacks have had plenty of time to move around the pocket, set their feet, and buy time for these receivers to work down the field. It's actually two-man coverage, and the tight end Pitt is just working on the linebacker, Perry Riley. Nice job by Joe Flacco, giving his tight end some time to work down the field.
Extra point by Justin Tucker. Dennis Pitta, 3-year man from Brigham Young. With his 5th touchdown of the season, he has emerged as one of Flacco's favorite targets.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. And by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
It's the Redskins and the Ravens from FedEx Field in Landover, located just outside of our nation's capital. Marv Albert, Rich Gadding, Joe Flacco with 3 touchdown passes this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been getting off to a great start here today, and that was the key. They talked about them not starting well on the road. Not the case here in the first half.
Niles Paul will stay right there to bring it out to the 20-yard line. Well, nobody knows the game like a quarterback. Break down all the NFL action on NFL Monday QB. That's tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports, featuring Rich Gannon, Phil Simms, Steve Berline. And as you know, Rich, I have my personal DVR set by staff members each week.
I'm a little offended that you don't watch it live.
You know, I usually have meetings around that. Griffin with the handoff to Morris. Trying to take it to the outside. Picked up 5 on the play. There's Terrell Suggs sitting it out. Was a question mark coming in because of the torn bicep injury. He's also back from a torn Achilles tendon. So for the first time since back in 2003, when Suggs came into the league, both he and Ray Lewis sitting out games at the same time as Joshua Morgan goes to his knees to make that catch. And that's a gain of 5, and it's a first down. There's some confusion as to whether people should call Morgan Joshua or Josh, and we've heard both, and I guess commentators in this area started referring to him as Josh, and his grandmother was very upset. He said, you know, your given name is Joshua, and I would really prefer it. And Joshua made that point known.
No argument from me. Keeps catching touchdowns. I'm good with Joshua.
First down at the 30-yard line. Griffin on play action. Beautiful pass. First down and more. Darrell Young on the reception. 28-yard pickup for the 3-year man out of Villanova.
Well, we've been talking about the play action the whole first half, and it's been so effective. I think you look at defenders, you're so worried about the zone read and the option that it neutralizes the pass rush. So now he's got plenty of time. You've got some gaps between the linebackers and the safeties. And what you find is you're not attacking up front with your front 7, but rather you're reacting to what you see in the run game.
Coming up on 6.5 remaining in this first half, the Ravens with a 7-point lead, and now the Redskins will talk it over. RG3 did not like what he was looking at, took the timeout, so Washington with 1 timeout left. Although Washington is trailing 21-14, Robert Griffin III has been so effective in this first half. How do you prepare to face a quarterback like RG3?
Well, it's tough. I mean, in essence, you got 3 days to prepare for something that's totally different than anything you see, and you need the scout team guys to do a good job. Talk about Dennis Dixon here in a minute.
End around. Garcon makes his way to the 40, a short pickup.
Yeah, let's see. Good look at Dennis Dixon, who's actually on the practice squad for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, instead of using their backup quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, they decided to use Dennis Dixon, who actually ran the spread option at Oregon. And he did a great job. But as good a job as he has done, it just doesn't do anything. It's impossible to try and duplicate the speed and the precision that you see with this Washington offense. And I think that's the problem right now for this Baltimore defense. It's happening fast and furious.
Dixon actually went to head coach John Harbaugh and said, give me a crack at it. Here's Morris. Battles his way, has a first down, but a flag comes flying. Morris able to go for 10, but there is a penalty marker down.
Holding, number 82 offense. 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
Called on the tight end Logan Paulson.
Well, you look at Paulson right here. He's the one that's called for the foul. He's going to be blocking Courtney Upshaw. He just gets that left hand outside. You see him grab the jersey right there in the hole.
Redskins tied for the most penalties in the NFL. This sets it back to a second down and 18. Here's Griffin. Again, a wide open receiver. It is Garcon, and he powers his way to the extra yardage for the first down.
You know, Marv, I can't remember doing an NFL game where there's been this many big plays, explosive plays in the first half. I mean, both of these defenses really having a hard time stopping the big plays, and not just in the passing game, but in the running game as well. Look at that, 3 plays for the Ravens of 20 yards or more, 6 already for the Washington Redskins. And this is really where they're better. Last year they really struggled offensively, generating big plays in the passing game. But now with the play action with RG3, we see it all too often.
That was another 17-yard pass play. Beautiful fake, but it did not work because the Ravens saw it all the way, and Alfred Morris is hit back for a loss.
Well, what happens when that ball gets wet, and now it's raining a little bit here, you see he tries to pitch this ball. He's got the glove on that left hand, but I think he tries to pitch this with 2 hands. See, he's trying to pitch it with 2 instead of 1. And that one comes up a little short for Alfred Morris. A lot more difficult for a right-handed quarterback to run that option to the left because you're pitching with your left hand, your non-dominant hand.
A loss of 9. It brings on the punter, Sav Rockin. Tandon Doss is back at his 10. And lets it carry over his head. Redskins try to down it. They cannot. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JV, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So Joe Flacco goes back to work. His career high, most touchdowns in a game, 4 back on December 20th, 2009 against the Bears. He's thrown for 3 here in the first half. Ray Rice, the running back, lots of movement.
False start.
Penalty flag.
Number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Marv, you mentioned the Ravens have gone 54 consecutive games without a loss. Look at these numbers for Joe Flacco going back to November of 2009. 15-0 after a loss, 23 touchdowns and just 4 interceptions. And you look at how he started here in the first half. I mean, these guys, again, they don't stay down for long after a setback like last week.
First down and 15. Rice able to break tackles. Brings to the 23, perhaps the 24. Reed Doughty, the strong safety, on the tackle. And a flag down again.
Number 86.
These are both highly penalized teams. And this time it is the backup tight end, Billy Bajuma, called for the penalty.
Yeah, they really miss Ed Dixon. They love to use the two tight end offense with Dixon and Pitton. Without Dixon, they've had to go to Bajuma.
Bajuma, the one-time 49er, one-time Ram, his first season as a member of the Ravens, who are now set back to a first down at 23. Rice and Leach, the running backs. Rice finds a hole on the left, and then it's closed up. Tackle made by Perry Riley, the inside linebacker. 5 on the gain for Rice. As we come up on 3 minutes to go in what has been a high-scoring first half.
Yeah, big days by the quarterbacks and the running backs in the first half. And both offenses being aggressive, taking shots down the field.
Flacco with a 2nd and 17, gives to Rice. He had no angle and he is stopped. No gain on the play.
You know, we talked to Ray Rice on Friday, and he said he's never felt this good this late in the season. And one of the reasons why he really believes in 3 heavy lifting days and some extra stretching. It's allowed him to be able to, not only play each week, but to be able to take the blows that you have to take as a running back. But there's been a master plan.
Washington has taken a timeout. Ray Rice says he's very big on deep tissue massage, and I know you pointed out that you're more of a Swedish massage guy.
That's right.
And he kind of scoffed at that.
The cucumber facial, too.
And he walked out of the room in a huff. I thought that was really.
I think you learn as you stay in the game longer. That you take care of yourself between games. And Ray's idea is that he doesn't want to wait until Sunday to feel great. He wants to feel good when he steps on that practice field on Wednesday. So he's done a much better job of the ice tubs and like you said, Marv, the soft tissue specialist and those type of things. Anything he can do. But this is as good as he's felt. And I think that they're excited that now it's time to really crank up the running game. I mean, there's been a master plan. They talked about this. They want him well rested for the final month of the season, the stretch run, where the weather starts to change. This is where you usually see a lot more of Ray Rice.
3rd down and 17 for the Ravens. Screen pass completed to Peter. And he goes for 10. I should say Dennis Pittock. Perry Riley with the tackle. And the punting group will come on. Richard Crawford back deep as the punt return man. And now 2 minutes to go in this first half. Ravens have a 21-14 lead on the Redskins. Sam Rocca getting set to punt it. I should say Sam Cook getting set to punt it away. And this is Crawford to the 25. And able to break tackles, some crunching tackles as he gets close to the 35-yard line. Well, you can join the NFL in celebrating 50 years of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and this golden anniversary. Come to Canton, join the more than 10 million fans that have made the journey. For more, visit ProFootballHof.com. So the Redskins take over. No timeouts remaining. They used all 3. 59-yard punt by Cook and a 16-yard return. Redskins first down from their 33-yard line. And they go with 3 wideouts.
Ready, set.
Play fake by Griffin. And he fires one deep downfield. The pass intended for Santana Moss. What a throw by Griffin.
Well, it's amazing. He's moving to his left, and he can find enough torque to be able to throw this thing all the way down the field. Just hits Santana on the back shoulder. I mean, that's the one you'd think he might be able to make. What a great throw, though, by Robert Griffin III. Moving to his left and uncoiling that one about 60 yards down the field.
Moss covered by the left corner, Corey Graham. Now Evan Royster in the backfield. And Griffin throws underneath, and a flag comes in. Pass for Santana Moss, and interfered with by the inside linebacker, Jameel McClain.
Pass interference, defense, number 53. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
So you're going to see McClain. He's playing zone coverage. When he sees Santana Moss go underneath, he just jumps on him a little bit early there. And I think it was the right call. Both teams have really struggled with the penalties. It's really been on both sides of the ball. When you go back and you study, it's not all defense. Both teams have been hurt by the penalties.
And that has been all season long, and that pass off the mark intended for Evan Royster. Minute and a half remaining in this first half. Griffin is now 9 for 14, 168 yards and a touchdown.
You know, he's missed some throws low, and then you watch him sometimes. When he misses throws, he's flat-footed. I don't think he uses enough of his left side. And I think what happens is he's got such a strong and powerful arm that he can get lazy with his feet. And when we've seen him miss throws here in the first half, I think it's been because of his footwork, not his arm.
Second down and 10. Griffin has a quick release and able to connect with the tight end, Logan Paulson. And quickly to the line at just shy of a first down, about 8 on the pickup. Clock running, no timeouts left for the Redskins. And here come the flags. And look to be the tight end, Paulson.
Well, we mentioned the penalties, and that's really what's held this offense back at times.
False start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Sixth penalty for 45 yards. It's been a busy first half for the referee, John Parry.
Yeah, they're just not good enough to be able to overcome the mistakes. I mean, you start playing against better defenses, better teams late in the year. You've got to be able to go out and have clean performances.
Redskins looking at a third down and 7, a minute 3 to go, first half. Griffin in trouble. Series of head fakes, able to spin his way close to the marker. A couple of nice moves there by RG3, and then Chris Johnson was able to get to him. Picked up 5, but short of the first down.
Yeah, even when you think you have him, you don't. And the Ravens been talking all week about getting upfield, setting the edge on Robert Griffin III, and not allowing him a two-way go outside the pocket on the perimeter. I mean, force him to function in the pocket. This is really where he can hurt you, out on the edge.
And now here's the punt by Sav Rocca. Tandon Doss with the fair catch. So Ravens take over with 44 seconds to go in this first half.
Boy, Joe Flacco really got off to a good start. They went after D'Angelo Hall, a guy that didn't practice a lot during the week. Anquan Golden got him on the out and up, and then on the seam route, D'Angelo Hall late to react, thinking he may have some help from the safety. And of course, a nice touchdown throw to Pitta. Pass rush has not been great for the Redskins. Joe Flacco has had plenty of time here in the first half.
Baltimore starting out at their 13-yard line. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Up by 7. High snap. Inside handoff for Rice, and nothing there. Ryan Kerrigan makes the stop.
Yeah, I think you're up 21-14. You've got 37 seconds left. I think you just run this thing down and go to halftime with a 21-14 lead.
And the Ravens call for time. Rich, why the timeout after the running play?
I think there was some confusion there between Flacco and Camp Cameron. I mean, you're backed up on your own end with long ways to go.
Flacco able to complete to Pitta. Short of the first down. London Fletcher is there, but time continues to run down. We're approaching 20 seconds to go. It's a 9-yard pickup, and Flacco on a quarterback sneak has the first down, and now Baltimore using its final timeout. We'll step away. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Put a couple of extra seconds on the clock. 16 seconds remaining. No timeouts left for John Harbaugh and his Ravens. We're at the 26-yard line. And Flacco underneath for Rice. Gets to the 30-yard line, met by Josh Wilson, and that will wrap it. It's the end of the first half with the score. The Baltimore Ravens 21, Washington Redskins 14. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47.
The expectation is domination.
You download this and other NFL-inspired anthems at PepsiAnthems.com. On to the second half at FedEx Field. Landover just outside of Washington. Baltimore with a 21-14 lead on Washington. And Rich, this has been like a high-speed video game with the way the offenses have been operating. Joe Flacco has thrown 3 touchdowns. RG3, 10 of 15, 180 yards and a touchdown. And how about Redskins, 186 yards of offense in the first quarter. That's the most for a first quarter this season in the NFL.
Yeah, high octane. And it's the production on first down from both these offenses. If you're the offensive coordinators, you probably had a pretty good halftime. If you're the defensive coordinators, you're probably sick to your stomach. Both defenses have to make some adjustments, but it's the big explosive plays that have happened on first down that have really hurt both these defenses.
Let's take a look at some of the stats that stand out.
Yeah, a lot of big plays, obviously, but the turnover, that was the turnover by Alfred Morris, that fumble that set up that go-ahead touchdown for the Baltimore Ravens, the touchdown from Joe Flacco to Pitta. That's really the difference in the first half and why we have a 21-14 lead. But, well, that guy right there, Robert Griffin, I mean, it's been so much fun to watch. And Joe Flacco's putting on a show himself. It's been two quarterbacks back and forth in the first half.
This is Jacoby Jones for the Ravens on the return. Looks to go wide. And he's run out. Had no angle. Here come the flags. These are the 2 most penalized teams in the NFL, and that has certainly been the case in the first half. A 29-yard return by Jones.
You wouldn't think that with 2
during the return, holding. Number 15 of the return team, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Quad Williams called on the penalty.
You look at the numbers in the first half for both quarterbacks. I mean, Flacco's having a ridiculous half and 3 touchdowns, just a couple of touchdowns coming into today's game, the last 3 games. So he's been much more efficient. You look at RG3 over there, he's singing, laughing, having a good time, just enjoying his rookie year here in D.C.
On first down, it's Ray Rice. He carried the first 3 times right off the bat at the start of the game. Jarvis Jenkins in on the tackle, and Rice picks up 9 more yards, so 8 carries for 80 yards for Rice. Could be a second down. They say 9 on the pickup. 2nd and 1. And now Rice into the middle of the pile. See where they spot it. And he has the first down. So an outstanding start for Joe Flacco in his 5th season out of your alma mater, Delaware.
The Fighting Blue Hen.
Yep. The Fighting Blue Hen. Is it plural or singular?
Fighting Blue Hens.
Okay.
Plural. I'll tell you, the one thing about Joe Flacco is you can't question this guy's toughness. 77 consecutive starts.
Once again, it is Rice bringing across the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, stopped by the right corner, Josh Wilson. The Ravens at 9-3. The 3 losses in Philly in week 2. That was a 1-point loss. Then they win 4 straight to make a record of 5-1. They lost at Houston in a blowout. And then they win 4 in a row, but last Sunday lost to Charlie Batch and the Steelers 23-20 at home.
Yeah, they've been in a lot of close games. 7 of their games have been decided by 3 points or less. And the good news is that they've been able to finish a lot of them in the 4th quarter.
On 2nd and 4, Flacco with the rollout. And it is incomplete through the hands of Torrey Smith. And here comes another flag.
Yeah, just silly penalties, really, just unnecessary. Going to get to D'Angelo Hall here for a late hit.
Personal foul, defense, number 23. Contact that was high to a defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Look at Mike Shanahan. He is furious. Well, that's what they got him for.
A late hit called on Hall. A question mark throughout the week because of that strained right ankle. He was on crutches most of the week. But he has been in there from the start. Bernard Pierce in there now in the backfield. And the Ravens ball slapped out of the hands of Flacco. Recovered by the Redskins. Rob Jackson was able to come up with the strip and the recovery. Jackson, the outside linebacker in his 4th season out of Kansas State. Here it is.
Well, they're working on Michael Orr over there, the left tackle. We've seen a couple. We saw Kerrigan get him earlier, and then Rob Jackson comes around, as you mentioned, Mark, gets the strip and is able to fall on it as well. Orr struggling right now in pass protection.
Now the Redskins would like to take advantage of the turnover. Alfred Morris running wide. Stopped by Courtney Upshaw, who's been filling in for Terrell Suggs. Now last week with the Ravens leading by 7 in the 4th quarter, Flacco sacked by James Harrison. He fumbles it. Steelers recover at the Ravens 27, and 4 plays later, Steelers able to tie the game.
Again, it was Michael Orr, and he's played right tackle most of his career, and now he's been playing left tackle this season. I think he's a guy that's much more comfortable playing right tackle.
2nd down and 10, Morris to the outside. Morris fighting his way to the marker. Such a powerful runner, refusing to go down. Bernard Pollard had the wraps on him, and he picks up the first down.
Well, you really got to be disciplined with your eyes. You can't be worried about stopping RG3 all the time. The opposite, you lose focus of Alfred Morris in his own runs, and that's a big problem. Spend the entire afternoon trying to worry about the quarterback, and you wind up making tackles deep down the field. Alfred Morris, look at that, yards after contact. He is hard to get down on the ground.
Washington 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 36-yard line as Griffin looks to throw and try to swing it out as he was in trouble. Facing the pressure, the pass intended for Garcon. Once again, he takes a hit. Paul Kruger was right in on this play.
Well, the thing we've seen with Robert Griffin III, this guy's tough. I mean, he's shown he can take a hit and bounce right up, and I think he learned from that hit he took early in the year against Atlanta. He promised his teammates that he wouldn't put himself or his team in that position again. I mean, he realizes his value to this football team. He's got to be able to play all 16 if they're going to get to the postseason.
3 wideouts for the Redskins. Second down and 10. And the handoff to Morris. And again, takes it to the outside, inside the 30-yard line. He goes for 6. Watching RG3 a couple of hours before the game has an unusual set of warm-ups. I don't think this is something we saw you
Never
attempt in your quarterback days.
Well, it's almost as if you see him, he's getting ready to prepare for a track meet. I mean, he's out here, a couple hours before the game, and what he does is he breaks it into 2 segments. See, this is like the first half of that workout is to get his lower body going, and then he spends the other half working on his passing routine. But he comes out early, and boy, he really puts a lot of time into his pregame ritual.
And he was a track All-American as well. That pass is deflected, intended for Morgan, but broken up. Good play by Kerry Williams, the right corner for the Ravens.
There you can see Robert Griffin here a little disappointed now with the official. Thought there was a defensive holding there.
And we will see the first field goal attempt of the day. Kai Forbath, a one-year man out of UCLA, who was 11 for 11 this season. This is a 48-yard attempt, and he has been very good from long range. 48-yarder by Forbath. The Redskins within 4, and that fumble proves to be costly. It leads to this. Overcast 51-degree day here at FedEx Field outside of Washington. Rain of the forecast, but it has held up. It did rain here all morning long. Marv Albert with Rich Gannon. Scoring summary, 6th place, 16 yards, leading to that long-range field goal by Forbath. 21-17, Baltimore over Washington as Jacoby Jones on the return across the 25, 30, 40, and out of bounds. Pushed out by Jordan Pugh, 35-yard return. When we return, Joe Flacco. And he's...
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. LG Optimus G, the new quad-core powered smartphone. And by Best Buy. What will your gift do?
Ravens start out at the 34-yard line. The handoff to Pierce. He goes wide. Stiff arms his way and then stepped out. Nice run, though, by the rookie from Temple, Bernard Pierce. Picks up 11 and a first down.
Yeah, this kid runs hard with a lot of power. Very good quickness and speed. It's been a really nice changeup for the Ravens. And the thing they're not afraid to use him in critical situations. They're not afraid to play a lot of young players when you look at this roster in Baltimore.
5 carries, 24 yards for Pierce, spelling Ray Rice. Pierce and Leach are the running backs. And again, it is Pierce trying to pick his way. Met by Perry Riley. Goes for 8. Well, the AFC, the Ravens would clinch a playoff spot with a win here today over Washington and either a Pittsburgh or Cincinnati loss or tie. Pittsburgh is down 13-3 to San Diego. And Cincinnati, last we heard, in front of Dallas. And the Ravens would win the AFC North with a win over Washington. And both Pittsburgh and Cincinnati lose. Here's Pierce, breaks free, stiff arms. He's to the 30 and he's tripped up. Beautiful moves by the 3rd round pick out of Temple, Bernard Pierce. Finally taken down by D'Angelo Hall.
Yeah, they've not tackled well. You just look at a number of missed tackles. Now he's up on the safety, and Medea Williams misses a tackle as well.
Picked up 21. Now it's Ray Rice's turn. He cuts inside at the 20. The Ravens running well, and that started out at the start of the game with Rice getting the ball 3 consecutive times and reeled off a 46-yard run.
I'm a little surprised that the Redskins aren't playing better run defense. I mean, they've been very good with their run defense. They're currently third in run defense. Look at the production that both of these backs have had for the Ravens.
2nd down and 2. Rice is back in there. And here's Rice as the first down. Ravens are back to the no huddle, which has been effective. Getting back to that AFC playoff picture with a tough final 3 games for Baltimore. They would like to wrap things up as soon as possible. They have home games against the Broncos and Giants, and then they are at Cincinnati. Not an easy conclusion. Well, no, they are measuring, yeah.
All 3 teams with winning records. You look at all 3 playoff teams from a year ago as well.
Well, apparently just short. I thought he got the spot. So did John Harbaugh. 3rd and inches. Right around the 16.
Well, you got to keep an eye on Vontae Leach. That's the guy they want to follow. Track 44, you'll find the ball carrier.
Vontae goes 6 foot, 260 pounds, one of the NFL's best walking backs. It's Rice and Leach, and it's Flacco on a quarterback sneak. 1st down for Baltimore.
Or if you've got a quarterback that's 6'6" and 245 pounds, you could just run the sneak with them. Hard for these big guys to get low, but right behind Matt Burke. Matt Burke and Marshall Yanda. Pretty safe place to go if you're Joe Flacco. Talking about both teams have been pretty good on red zone defense, but not today. These offenses, when they've gotten down here, they've come away with touchdowns and not field goals.
1st down at the 15-yard line. Rice stopped by Riley. 6 more for Rice, who is now at 103 yards on his 13 carries, so he has already surpassed his attempts of last week. Just 12 carries, did not see the ball in the 4th quarter.
He is so productive. Highest percentage of the team's total yards from scrimmage going all the way back to 2009, almost 35% of the time.
And off to Rice, and he is collared back behind the line. A loss on the play. Jarvis Jenkins, 2nd-round pick out of Clemson last season with a burst, and it's a loss of 2.
Well, it's penetration. He just crosses right on the front side between the guard and the tackle, and he's able to make that stop in the backfield. Just shooting the gap.
3rd down and 6. What do you look for here, Rick?
Well, they've been look at this, 11 runs and just 2 passes. Ball should come out quick. They're in their empty set. This ball, particularly with pressure, he's got to get rid of it.
Well, he does, and it is picked off. It was deflected and intercepted by London Fletcher. The pressure from Ryan Kerrigan. The ball tipped. And the 37-year-old, 15-year pro London Fletcher comes up with the interception. See the numbers on London Fletcher. Career interception number 21, his 3rd pick of this season. And the ball back to the Redskins. They start out from their 15. Alfred Morris, the running back. Play back. Griffin able to complete. Hankerson with the catch for a first down.
Well, you go back and look at the interception. When you see these 4 cross looks, you've got to be careful. It's all man-to-man coverage, and what happens is the Ravens have 5 to block 6. You're 1 short. Joe Flacco knows this ball has to come out. He's late, and you see Ryan Kerrigan. He gets there, and London Fletcher's right in position to get that deflection. Well, you hate to have turnovers at any time, but particularly not in that part of the field.
17-yard pass play, giving Washington a first down. That's Josh Bynes, who was shaken up, first-year player out of Auburn, a backup linebacker. First down for the Redskins from their 32-yard line. Morris off the flip, finds the hole, has the first down and more, works his way to midfield. Bernard Pollard, the strong safety, brings him down, but it's another 16 for Morris.
Just another way to get the ball on the edge with Alfred Morris. I mean, they love the stretches, the sweeps, and even the tosses. We've been talking so much about the quarterback and the running back, these 2 rookies. Marv, we forget to mention this offensive line. I mean, this offensive line, the more you watch them, they've done an outstanding job, not only in terms of the running game, but the pass protection as well. And there's some different concepts. There's been some new learning when you look at what they've done in the pistol.
Off the roll, Griffin being chased. Puts the speed on, and then steps out of bounds. And you know that Mike Shanahan liked the fact that he stepped out.
Yeah, you know, you look at Elodi Nada for a big man, he can run. I mean, he's a space eater inside, but you know, he's in position here to make the play. Now all of a sudden you really get a sense and a feel for the speed of RG3. We always talk about you can't underestimate his speed, but more importantly, you can't overestimate your own speed. Even when you think you have the edge, you don't with a quarterback like Robert Griffin III.
2nd and 6 for the Redskins. And the inside handoff to Morris. Breaks free again. So tough to contain. Has a first down inside the 40 as he picks up 9 more.
Well, we've been talking about the yards after contact with Alfred Morris all day, and you see right here, you think a number of people have him right there, high, low, and they don't wrap. You've got to be able to wrap with a big, powerful back like Alfred Morris.
Now, Jameel McClain, the Ravens starting inside linebacker, shaken up, and they're checking him out. We'll be back.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And by FedEx. FedEx does more than shipping. FedEx, solutions that matter.
Ravens linebackers have been hit by a number of injuries. We saw Jameel McClain go down. He's on the sideline. Ray Lewis has been out. Terrell Suggs not able to go today. Lewis eligible to return next week. Donnell Ellerby, inside linebacker, usually a starter, also sidelined today. Now Josh Bynes, who was hurt just moments ago, has come on for McClain. It's a 1st and 10 for Washington. Morris, this time is bottled up, picked up a yard on the play. Well, earlier this week, Ray Lewis did return to practice for the first time since suffering the injury.
Yeah, great to get him back on the practice field and talk to Terrell Suggs. He said the general's back, but I just think you can see the energy back in the building when you've got a guy that's played at such a high level for so long and means so much to this defense.
2nd down and 9. Morris handling, takes to the sideline and nowhere to go. Ray Lewis recovering from a surgically repaired torn right triceps, which is a serious injury, and he'll be eligible to play next week against Denver. He can be activated from that injured reserve designated to return list.
Yeah, it's not just the production on the field, but it's the leadership, the toughness, the experience that he gives you late in the season and, of course, in the postseason.
Back-to-back turnovers putting Washington in excellent position. They converted a field goal, have a shot right here. They're down 21-17. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 3rd and 7 for RG3. Runs out of the pocket. Being chased. Goes sideline and ends up out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it. Kerry Williams, the right corner, in pursuit.
Well, a great effort here by Robert Griffin III. I mean, he just extended himself trying to get that ball over the line. Goes airborne.
And Rick, this is what Mike Shanahan was talking about yesterday. They do not want him to take as many hits, and he has to make decisions as to when he should make that move out of bounds. It leads to this, a 49-yard attempt by Kai Forbath, who has been excellent from long range. Does it again. Hit from 48 earlier in the quarter. He's been a long-range threat. One-year man out of UCLA, cutting it to a 1-point lead. How about Kai Forbath? He's now 13 of 13 for the season. 9 of his 13 field goals have come from 43 or more, including a 45-yarder. And he's hit 2 deep ones to bring the Redskins within a point.
Well, that's a mistake.
Yeah. And they bring it out for the
by rule
40-yard line.
Placed on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10.
Reminder, tomorrow on CBS, the 5-0 team gets caught up in the jungle on an all-new Hawaii 5-0. Tomorrow, only CBS. So after saying all those nice things about Forbath.
Yeah, Forbath was trying to kick it away from Jacoby Jones. He got too cute there, kicking it to that right corner.
Ravens from their 40, 1:21 remaining. Third quarter. It's a 1-point Baltimore lead. Flacco goes the middle. Monte Leach is wrapped up by the inside linebacker Perry Riley. Picked up 3. Right here we are set for an update. Here's JB with Dan Marino.
Hey, Dan, every part of your body is live.
Yeah, it's live right here. Ben Roethlisberger throws a backward pass, and Antonio Brown tries to pick it up. Instead, Quentin Jammer gets the touchdown recovery for San Diego, 27-3.
Gluteus Maximus is involved. Marvin Rich.
All right, guys. Rice gets the call. Perhaps a yard on the play. Baker and Jenkins combine to bring up a 3rd down and 6. Remember, Washington at 6-6, very much in the hunt for the division and wild card. If they can stay alive, they're in good shape in the tiebreaker department. But they love the fact that Dallas is losing at Cincinnati. And how about Pittsburgh with Ben Roethlisberger back after Charlie Batch won last week against Baltimore, trailing San Diego as this third quarter comes to a close. We're at FedEx Field in Landover, outside of Washington, in an entertaining game. We'll be back in a moment. A message and a word from your local station. A look at the line score. Redskins with 168 yards in all offensively in the first quarter, most for a first quarter in the NFL. Ravens led by Joe Flacco, who's thrown for 3 touchdowns, but some critical turnovers have cost. As we start out in the fourth quarter, it is a 1-point Raven lead. Look out, Flacco is taken down. Chased from behind, it was Jordan Pugh blitzing from his safety position to get to Flacco.
Yeah, you can't put this one on the left tackle, Michael Orr. This is on Joe Flacco. They're not even taking care of the end men on the line of scrimmage. And you're short here in protection. Flacco has to realize this, either throw it away or get the ball out quick. You can't take a sack in that situation.
Redskins' second sack of the day. Crawford is back for the punt and lets it go as it bounces inside the 15-yard line. It's a 52-yarder. RG3 and the Redskins will take over. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Bill Cowler. They'll have all the latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Subway postgame. Redskins take over, just getting underway here in the fourth quarter. A handoff to Morris and was not able to shed the tackler. Arthur Jones grabbing hold of a leg. Ends up as a 2-yard pickup.
They had nowhere to go. They had one defender taking the running back and the other one heading upfield to take care of Robert Griffin III. You can see both these teams have made adjustments. Both defenses playing better in the second half.
And that ends up as a loss of 2. It'll be a 2nd and 13. Griffin dropping back, took a long look, being pushed back, in trouble, and down he goes. And he's hurt. Looked like he landed on the football. It was Arthur Jones coming up with his 4th sack of the season, a loss of 8.
Well, he's sitting there, he's holding it. This is just a 2-man route. A couple times now they've had these 2-man routes where he's not had someone open downfield. You see him take a shot right to the lower back by Arthur Jones.
Arthur Jones, 3-year man out of Syracuse, had been starting for the injured Purnell McPhee. Coming up with that big hit. It's a 3rd down and 20 out of the gun. Inside handoff for Royster. An excellent defensive series for the Ravens. Redskins forced to punt.
Yeah, not a good series for the Redskins. Kind of sloppy football. This is a defense you don't want to get behind in the down and distance, and that's really where you can get hurt.
4th punt of the day for Rocca. And the dangerous Jacoby Jones muffs the fair catch and then has to fall on it as a flag comes down. 50-yard punt. Looked like Jones misjudged it. He was cutting back and then tried to recover. We're 2.5 minutes into this fourth quarter. A game that has playoff implications for both the Ravens and the Redskins.
They're really more than local bragging rights on the line in this game, as you mentioned.
There's 2 fouls on the play, which will offset and will end up re-kicking. Holding, return team number 51. Kick catch interference on the kicking team. Replay 4th down.
Well, for Baltimore, it's called on Ian Badejo, and for Washington on Niles Paul.
You can see Danny Smith not at all happy about it, the special teams coordinator. Got to give him a chance to make the play. But that's a bad call. He's out of the way. I mean, he clearly goes by him and he allows Jacoby Jones a chance to make that catch. There's a good look at Danny Smith. He's a special teams coordinator for the Redskins and he's not at all happy.
All right, so Sav Rocca backs up to deep into his end zone, and now Jacoby Jones backpedals to his 40-yard line.
Well, you don't want to give Jacoby Jones another opportunity.
Jones is taken down as he crossed the 50, upset with himself. 52-yard punt, 9-yard return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Nationwide 4G coverage from coast to coast. Ted, unrated, stuffed with even more laughs on Blu-ray and DVD December 11th. And by Acura. Acura Advance.
Yeah, you look at the Ravens in the second half possessions. I mean, they've been very up and down at times, Marv. We've seen them where they've been outstanding. You look at them last 4 possessions, the fumble, an interception, and the punt. A lot of it has come with weak side pressure.
From midfield, Ray Rice gets the handoff. Picked up 2. What a difference between the first and second half for Baltimore quarterback Joe Flacco. Second half, just 1 of 3 yards and the interception.
Well, he's streaky at times, like the rest of the offense. And I mean, that's the thing that Joe's got to clean up. They've got to clean up some of the inconsistency in his game.
Second and 8. Here's Rice. Picked up just 2. Ravens with the 1-point lead, 11.5 remaining in this fourth quarter.
Seems like every week we see the Ravens, they go through a lull. It could be in the second quarter, sometimes it's in the second half. They look so sharp in the first half, not only running the football but throwing it, and yet here in the second half, they've not been able to find their rhythm.
And this Redskin portion of the crowd into it now. A dump-off pass. It's caught by Pitta, but he is stopped immediately. Just a 3-yard advance. Lorenzo Alexander was right there. It's a 3-and-out.
Well, the Redskins have been much better on third down defense. Had the second worst third down defense coming into today's game. Probably talked about the pass rush and then the inconsistent play in the secondary. Fake punt. At least they're going to show it.
They are showing the fake. No snap yet. Let's see how they...
No snap, no play. Oh, they decided to snap it. Called the timeout first.
Yeah.
Surprised they even snapped it.
They had Sam Cook in normal position. Then he made his move up. And the timeout taken. Sam Cook back in a more conventional punt formation. He's at his 45. Richard Crawford is back, calling fair catch. Has to drift back to make it at the 8-yard line. And back comes RG3. And Rich, you know, the Redskins, it's an amazing number, have gone with 21 starting quarterbacks over the last 20 seasons. It appears they've found their man. Look at number 2, right under Mark Rippon.
Well, that's some stiffs. You know, you have guys like that, it's hard to win. And you know, they haven't had a quarterback that they could really get excited about for a while. And it's hard to win, Marv. We know this. We do these games every week. If you don't have production and consistency at the quarterback position, they finally have that now with Robert Griffin III.
For 21 and 20 years. Wow. They traded the 6th overall selection and their second-round pick. Here's Morris. Alfred Morris, who gets a lot of carries, coming in 230 for the season. He did pick up 3, stopped by Bonds, but the Redskins traded the 6th overall selection and their second-round pick, along with first-rounders, in 2013 and 2014 to St. Louis for the right to choose Robert Griffin III.
Well, they knew what they were getting, and as Bruce Allen, the general manager, told me on Saturday, he's a better person than he is a quarterback. They feel excellent with their decision.
Off the fake on the handoff, Griffin runs it out of bounds. That was covered very well by the Ravens, particularly the outside linebacker Albert McClellan. So Griffin ends up with a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, and he's been so impressive. You know, he's just very genuine and sincere when you sit down and you visit with him. Extremely confident, but not at all arrogant. You know, and you look at the guy, plays fearless, and these players have a lot of confidence. They're selling a lot of jerseys here in Washington, a lot of RG3 jerseys, not just here, but around the National Football League.
Evan Royster has checked into the backfield for this 3rd down and 3. Joshua Morgan flanked to the left. Griffin with time, and it looked like there was one hop. Garcon trying to make the catch off the grass. So the punting unit will check in.
I think he's much more accurate than you realize, but he's missed some throws here today low. I mean, that's one you got to catch, though. My gosh. Pierre Garcon, he's used to Peyton Manning throwing the football. That was a perfect throw. Trying to protect him from that linebacker inside.
Jacoby Jones hit immediately. Tremendous coverage by Lorenzo Alexander off the 51-yard punt. And that surprised Jones.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway Restaurants. This December is Customer Appreciation Month. Subway, eat fresh. And by the all-new Honda Accord. It starts with you.
Well, following the fast-paced, high-power offenses in the first half, things have certainly slowed down in the second half.
Yeah, defensive coordinators made some adjustments at halftime. Flacco's not been as effective here in the second half, nor has Ray Rice.
Ravens start out from the 37, and Leach takes that pass from Flacco, stopped by Riley, and that is good for 8. Vontae Leach, very effective coming out of the backfield, his 18th catch of the season.
I love Vontae Leach. He's like the team chiropractor. I mean, if you go up against him enough, all he does is crack your back and adjust your neck. And that's what he's in there to do. He's in there to readjust the alignment of some of these Redskin linebackers.
The team chiropractor. Bernard Pierce scrambling near the marker, picked up about a yard.
Well, we just talked about Vontae Leach. I wouldn't say he gets a swing and a miss, but is not able to take the linebacker square down the middle. He's able to come off, those fullbacks are a dying breed. We just don't see as many of them anymore. We're seeing more of the H-backs, the tight ends that can step back in and short motion back into the backfield and lead for those running backs.
Well, Leach, a fullback who actually will run the ball occasionally and does catch. Once again, it is Leach on the handoff.
You were out in front of that. Doesn't get a lot of touches, but
it is a first down for Baltimore.
The old belly play to the fullback. Look how low he gets in his stance. You know, the jersey that fits him. With 260 pounds, he is not the type of guy you want to see in a hole one-on-one.
Had a nice game last week against Pittsburgh. 4 catches, 40 yards. Now Pierce in the backfield with Leach for this 1st and 10. Flacco with a deep drop. Has a wide open Pierce. Oh, he hurdles one of the Redskins and gets to the 40-yard line for a first down. He made a move, and then London Fletcher was able to wrap him up.
You know, D'Angelo Hall's played a lot of football, but he hasn't played against a lot of rookies that'll do this. I mean, that's crazy. London Fletcher right there. It's kind of a high-low deal, but boy, tells you a little something about Bernard Pierce. He's not afraid to throw his body around to make a play.
First down for the Ravens at the Washington 41. Rice, who just came back on, met by Rob Jackson, but he goes for 4. Coming up on 6 minutes to play in this 4th quarter, and Baltimore with a 1-point lead on Washington.
Well, just watch Vontae Leach. He's going to lead up on the safety, Reed Dowdy. Watch this result. Bam! That's what we were talking about. I told you, he's the chiropractor. He's out there to adjust backs and necks, no charge.
It's very kind, Rich. Ray Rice, 18 carries, 110 yards. 2nd and 6. Flacco just did get it away, finding Rice at the 35. Met by Dijon Gomes. Gain of 2. So it's a big third down play. 3rd and 4 for the Ravens at the Redskin 35 as we approach 5 minutes to play in the 4th.
Do the Redskins bring pressure again? I say, yeah, they got that 4 across look. Here it comes.
Broncos pass is caught for a first down and more. They cannot bring Bolden down. Anquan Bolden goes for 28 yards with D'Angelo Hall all over him.
Well, the same pressure we saw earlier where the Ravens turned the ball over. The 4 across look. They block it up this time, and Flacco's able to get the ball out to Anquan Bolden. Now, you're not going to be able to make this tackle just grabbing him by the shirt. Anquan Bolden's a big man. D'Angelo Hall, Marv, has really struggled in man-to-man coverage. He's not 100%. That's clear when you watch him.
1st and goal for the Ravens. Here is Rice. And Rice is in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Ray Rice takes it in from 7 yards out and extends the Raven lead to 27-20.
Oh, that was too easy for Ray Rice. And that was a big hole up inside. You look at the job that Matt Burke and Yonda and Reed did inside, and getting up on that second level and getting some hats on those linebackers. An easy run for Ray Rice.
The rookie out of Texas, Justin Tucker, on for the extra point. With just under 5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter, Redskins in a hole. They're down by 8.
Boy, really nice movement at the point of attack, and there's Vontae Leach again coming in and getting a block on the linebacker. Boy, Ray Rice is running hungry right now. There's a reason why Ray Rice wasn't getting a ton of carries early in the year. They wanted this guy fresh.
I see.
Fresh for December.
That's exactly what the Raven staff is saying, and he has looked very fresh this afternoon. Tonight, right here on CBS, a 60 minutes investigation into the city known as the false confession capital of America. Plus Hugh Jackman on 60 Minutes tonight, only on CBS.
Well, still a 1-score game for Robert Griffin III and this Redskin offense. Plenty of time. 3 timeouts left. Drive down the field, get yourself a score, a 2-point conversion, and we go to overtime. And you miss your flight back to New York.
See, that is not even a concern. Why would you even bring that up?
Oh, because I'm on the earlier flight back to New York.
I see.
No, this has been a great game. And, you know, it's kind of the way we thought this would be. You know, kind of a wide-open offensive attack with good running and good production from both offenses.
Niles Paul comes up on it, and here's the return. Across the 15.
Big hit.
And they have lost it. The ball came out, and it's recovered by the Ravens. David Reed on the recovery. 3-year man out of Utah.
Wow, what a big hit here. Now the question is whether or not he has control of the ball before it goes out of bounds. I'm not sure about that. That ball's still moving. Wow, what a big hit. I think that was Courtney Upshaw. I think that ball may still be moving when David Reed finally gets possession of it.
And they do take out every turnover. Courtney Upshaw, who made the hit, 2nd-round pick out of Alabama, only a 2nd NFL start. He's also been playing special teams, but he is in the lineup as a starter at linebacker due to the injury suffered by Terrell Suggs. So they'll look at it upstairs.
Well, the big hit by Courtney Upshaw, it's almost as if Niles Paul never saw him. The ball's out. A good alertness by David Reed. Now, whether or not he actually, see right there, it looks like he has it, but then he goes to adjust it, and the ball moves a little bit. You see the line judge, he's right there to make the call. Boy, big hit, though, by Courtney Upshaw. Wow.
And Rich, the Redskins have been a very low turnover team. No turnovers in a game 5 different times this season. A 6th game with 0 turnovers would be a franchise record, but they've had a couple here today.
Yeah, you know, it's been impressive. You know, you think about the lack of turnovers from the Redskins, particularly on offense. I mean, with a rookie quarterback and rookie running back in the backfield together. But it's special teams here that gets them.
A critical turnover committed by the rookie running back, Alfred Morris, that helped turn this game around for Baltimore.
Yeah, allowed the Ravens to go up 21-14 with the Flacco to Pete touchdown throw.
Joe Flacco throwing 3 touchdowns in the first half, very quiet in the second half. As you mentioned, both defenses certainly adjusted to what took place in the high-flying first half of football that we witnessed. And RG3 overall, 11 of 19, 197 yards, and a touchdown.
I think this may be reversed. I mean, you looked at that ball, Marv, it was clearly moving. And that's going to be the question for the referee.
After he didn't play, it was a fumble, but the ball was not recovered inbound. The ball was recovered after the player was in the right. Therefore, it'll be 1st and 10 for Washington on the 15-yard line.
All right, the referee, John Perry, saying it was a fumble, but the ball was not recovered inbounds. And the Redskins maintain possession. They'll have it at their 15.
Yeah, you got the wet turf. You probably got a wet ball as well. It's not an easy play for David Reed.
Alfred Morris, Darrell Young are the running backs. Redskins down by 8. So it's a 1-possession game. Play action. Griffin. Incomplete. Looked like it was deflected. NFC East standings. Giants 7-5. Washington. Dallas at 6-6. Dallas trailing in its game. 2nd down and 10. That is Morgan in motion. Griffin takes it himself and slides out of bounds. He was looking for a late hit. He felt he was hit out of bounds. Bernard Pollard, a man who made contact. They call him the Bone Crusher.
Well, he's the enforcer. You're going to see him coming here. He's going to drop his head a little bit. He hits Robert Griffin right in the head. This is a guy, this is where Pollard wants to play, down around the line of scrimmage. That's where he's most comfortable. How they've struggled here in the last 9 possessions. So much production on the first 2, and yet can't get anything going here the last 9.
A huge 3rd and 6 for RG3, and he is able to complete at the marker. The catch by Leonard Hankerson for a 1st down, Washington.
You know, when you study Robert Griffin III, you think a lot of his production is outside the pocket, and yet the numbers don't indicate that. He's actually been much more effective in the pocket. You look at his touchdown to interception ratio, yards per completion percentage. He's about 12-13 percentage points higher in the pocket, which is really impressive for a guy who spent a lot of his time in a very different and similar attack at Baylor.
Griffin completes up at the 30 to a spinning Santana Moss. That's a 6-yard advance. Now the Redskins do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Baltimore has 2 with just under 3 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. An 8-point lead for John Harbaugh and the Ravens. 2nd and 5 for Washington at their 30. Evan Royster now in the backfield for the Redskins. This is Royster. Makes his way to the 35-yard line. And it is a first down.
Well, we mentioned that obviously Ray Lewis not playing, Terrell Suggs, but Ed Reed, we haven't really called out his name much today, Marv. He's been kind of quiet, and as you look at him, he's been playing very deep on the back end. At times, he's 30 yards downfield. You can't even see him on the screen.
They want to get this play off. They do before the 2-minute warning. Griffin in trouble, and down he goes. They rushed it, could not set up properly, and Paul Kruger in there for the sack. 3rd sack of the game for the Ravens, and 2nd for Kruger. We'll be back in a moment. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, it's JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Bill Cowher will have all the latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Subway postgame show. 2 minutes remaining here at FedEx Field. 2nd and 19 for RJ3. And the Redskins, they're down 28-20. Minute 56 to play in the fourth as Griffin takes off and is able to reach the 40-yard line. Goes for 13. He's slow to get up. Paul Kruger on the tackle. He's about 5 yards short of a first down, and there's no question this is 4-down territory.
No question. That was a big run by RG3, and now it looks like he's hurt his right leg. I mean, this would be devastating. You can watch his right leg. He's going to get, oh, that didn't look good. Well, he didn't have a chance to brace himself. Looked like Haloti Ngata came flying in there, and his right knee just...
You're looking at the rookie from Michigan State, Kirk Cousins, who did play briefly in that game against Atlanta that saw Griffin take a hit and forced to leave. That was back in early October. Cousins, a 4th-round draft pick out of Michigan State. And Griffin back at the sideline with 1:42 remaining in this fourth quarter. Washington just took a timeout, so they have 2 remaining with 1:42 left in the fourth.
And he just indicated to Mike Shanahan, just give me a play and I'm going to get back in there. I think we could see RG3 back in the lineup after this play. It was a critical 3rd down. Obviously 4-down territory, Marv, as you mentioned. Regardless of the outcome here, they're going to go for it on 4th down, but not an easy position. Not an easy position at all for Kirk Cousins, who comes in cold off the bench.
He did play briefly in that game against the Falcons. Here's Cousins, and his pass is broken up, but a flag is down. Pass intended for Pierre Garçon, covered by Chris Johnson, and a penalty marker is down.
And pass interference, defense, number 39, hook and turn receiver. Automatic first down for Skylar Powell.
Well, he's just going to run a little in and out option route. You see right there, really no reason for it, but they panic at times. You're going to see that right arm, he just hooks him. Chris Johnson was in great position. He didn't have to do that.
Robert Griffin III is back on the field. We welcome those of you who have just joined us. Marv Albert, Rich Gannon. It has been a thriller at FedEx Field. The pass from Griffin is complete. Santana Moss gets to the sideline to stop the clock. Run out by Chris Johnson, a 14-yard pass play.
And this is all adrenaline right now for Robert Griffin III. That was a nasty hit. We saw him limp off the field, and he's still not 100%. You just watch the end of it. Just watch his right leg. It's going to torque. And Haloti Ngata, I mean, that bench, you see his knee hyperextend. I mean, he's not going to have the mobility, obviously.
Redskins need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie with 1:12 2:29 to play. Griffin out of the gun. Griffin goes sideline and is incomplete. Pass intended for Garcon. Washington at 6-6 in the hunt for the division and wild card. A loss here would not eliminate them, but it will be damaging.
And obviously, if you're Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, you've got a quarterback that's not 100%, doesn't have the mobility. It may, in fact, change up the way you're trying to approach this final minute 23. Not as concerned about him pulling the ball down and running.
2nd and 10 from inside the 40 as Griffin goes deep. It is caught inside the 20-yard line by Pierre Garcon. Clock is running. Redskins have the 2 timeouts left. You can see RG3 limping his way up to the huddle. 22-yard pass play.
Well, you can tell it's just even hurting him to put pressure on it, to put weight on that right knee. And he is in a lot of pain.
First down at the Baltimore 16, and that snap is bobbled, and he just fires it away.
Yeah, that might be intentional grounding. Yep. Yeah, you can't. He's in the pocket there. He's thrown. He just threw that one out of the back of the end zone to avoid the sack.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 10, who was in the pocket, but there was no eligible receiver in the area. It'll be a 10-yard penalty, plus a loss of down. 2nd down. Timeout on the field.
And as you can see, R.G. Griffin on all fours. He's been hobbling since making the return. Not able to maneuver and now being helped back to the Redskins sideline.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain. I mean, you could tell he's not able to move as much, but even throwing the football, you could see him wincing that last throw. He's not able to really push and drive off with that right foot.
So Kirk Cousins, the rookie from Michigan State, returns through an incomplete pass that drew a penalty when he came on just moments ago. He did appear earlier against Atlanta when RG3 took a hard shot. The Washington charged with a timeout. They're down to 1 remaining, and they have a 2nd and 20 at the Baltimore 25-yard line. 45 seconds to play. What a spot for Cousins. He completes down at the 10. Leonard Hankerson with the catch on a beautiful throw from Cousins for 16 yards. Redskins will take a timeout. This their final timeout.
And the amazing thing for Kyle Shanahan, the play caller, he hasn't really had the chance to sit down with Kirk Cousins and then talk about, hey, what are you comfortable with in this situation? I mean, he's literally run off the sidelines onto the playing field and into the huddle. And you can see Kyle talking to him in his headset, talking to him about the situation with a young quarterback. You want to make sure he understands the situation in the game. 36 seconds left, no timeouts. Got to be smart.
And he has an inexperienced rookie quarterback who has thrown 11 times this season.
And if you get a first down, he's got to clock it.
3rd down and 5. Cousins with the pump, and he throws end zone. Touchdown, Washington! Caught by Pierre Garcon.
Now you've got to go for 2. Got to get everybody back to the huddle. You got to understand. You've got to, whatever your best 2-point play is. Now's the time. Well, really nice job here by Kirk Cousins. He pumps, and now he gets outside the pocket, puts a nice arrow on it underneath the corner. Perfect throw in the back of the end zone.
And this, the first time this season that the Redskins have gone for a 2-point conversion. 29 seconds remaining. And the Ravens take a timeout. A dramatic start to the game and a dramatic finish with playoff implications for both teams.
Really nice poise here by the rookie, the other rookie, Kirk Cousins. Scrambles outside and puts nice air on this ball, and Pierre Garçon right there to make the play. Now the Ravens got a chance to see the last formation, identify the personnel group, and then they called the timeout. Curious to see whether or not Washington comes out in the same formation. They're checking, as you can see, the doctors over there checking the right knee of Robert Griffin III.
A touchdown pass, 13 plays, 85 yards, 4 minutes, 18 seconds. Here we go. 2-point conversion. Washington attempting to tie the game. Cousins, he will run, and he's in! The game is tied!
Well, they're playing two-man coverage. You see the safeties. Everybody's going to run, and they turn loose the quarterback, Kirk Cousins. We think about Robert Griffin III running. This is a designed quarterback draw. They do a nice job getting up on the second level, and Cousins finds the end zone. Well, a really nice hole up in the middle. You see everyone concerned about the pass. Never felt the quarterback on the draw.
And there has to be much concern looking ahead for Robert Griffin III, but what a performance by Kirk Cousins, who appeared in only one game, went 5 for 9, 111 yards, did well in the game against Atlanta when Griffin was hurt. And he's come on here. They took him out after that one pass. Griffin came on, and Griffin re-aggravated the injury, and now Cousins able to drive the Redskins to the touchdown, and then on a quarterback sneak scored the 2 points for the conversion. The game is tied, 29 seconds to go in regulation, and the dangerous Jacoby Jones is back for Baltimore. Once again, they look to angle it away, not allowing a return.
Well, Jacoby Jones thinks it was out of bounds, and
Robert Griffin III headed back to the Redskin locker room. Yeah, this just before he left the field, he wanted to make sure to tell the backup quarterback, Kirk Cousins, that he did a great job.
Yeah, they really like Cousins. I mean, there's a reason why they drafted him as well out of Michigan State. Now you've got Rex Grossman over there on the sidelines in street clothes trying to calm down the other rookie quarterback.
So the Ravens will just run the clock out here in overtime as we welcome those of you who just joined us. It has been a tremendous game here at FedEx Field. It got off to the explosive start and then slowed down in the second half and has come on with the dramatic surge in the final minutes by the Redskins, despite the fact that RG3 was hurt and the backup quarterback, Kirk Cousins, rising to the occasion, able to lead Washington to the touchdown and the 2-point conversion as we now move on to overtime.
Yeah, really an incredible drive. It had 2nd and 18, and RG3 makes the big run. You look at the rules here in overtime, of course, the 15-minute quarter. Touchdown or safety on the first possession wins the game, and of course, booth reviews only. So, boy, just the momentum swings in this game are back and forth. The ability to be able to overcome that 2nd and 18. Kirk Cousins comes off the bench cold, doesn't even get some warm-up throws, and he goes out there and makes some big throws.
Gentlemen, we're going to play one
down the
period
stretch
of overtime. By rule, each team will get a possession unless during the first series it's a 6-point score or a safety. All replay will come from the replay booth. Each team will get 2 timeouts. What's your call? His call is tails. And it is tails. Baltimore won the toss, and they've chosen to receive. Good luck, man.
So it is on to the 15-minute overtime. Ravens, Redskins tied at 28. On to overtime. We're outside the nation's capital in Landover, Maryland. FedEx Field, the home of the Washington Redskins, and about to start the 15-minute overtime.
Yeah, and here's what took us to overtime. Clutch throw by Kirk Cousins on third down, scrambling, putting some arrow in the back of the end zone to Pierre Garçon. They come right back on the two-point conversion. Ravens think it passed. They run the quarterback draw, and Cousins is able to get it over for 2.
Kai Forbath will kick it off to Jacoby Jones, and the word on RG3, he appeared to suffer a right knee injury. So it will be Kirk Cousins in OT. Here's Jones on the return. Cross the 20. Taken down across the 25-yard line, a 28-yard return. So Baltimore will be 1st and 10. And we've been mentioning during the course of the telecast the playoff implications, particularly for the Ravens, who would clinch a playoff spot with a win over Washington and either a Pittsburgh or a Cincinnati loss or tie. And Washington at 6-6 in the hunt for the division and wild card, but many other possibilities needed there. Here's Flacco throwing downfield. It is incomplete, intended for the tight end, Dennis Pitta, covered by London Fletcher.
And they thought that would be a good matchup all day, and it hasn't been because of that guy right there, London Fletcher. I mean, a 15-year veteran linebacker. He's made so many big plays today, not just in the running game, but the passing game as well. And the Ravens have struggled mightily in the second half on offense. Came out, they looked so good in the first half, and yet in the second half, they haven't been able to get anything going.
Joe Flacco throwing 3 touchdowns in the first half. Ray Rice, the running back. Here's Rice. Trying to scramble his way to the 30-yard line. Picked up about 3. It's been a good day, though, for Rice. 20 carries, 121 yards. And that's the right guard, Marshall Yonda, Pro Bowler for the first time last year. So we will step away. It's the start of overtime. We'll be right back. Robert Griffin III is back on the Washington sideline. The Redskins say he suffered a right knee strain, and his return, as you'd expect, doubtful.
Wow, you could see that knee just get bent back and forth. Lodi Nada comes flying through the air, and Robert Griffin III unable to protect himself.
3rd and 6 for the Ravens. Here they come. Flacco in trouble. Able to run around. Gets across the 30, and he is smothered. Lorenzo Alexander, the first to get to Flacco, did pick up 3, but it brings up a 4th and 3, and the punting unit will come on.
Well, a big stop by the Redskins defense. You know, they get good field position here now. A field goal will win it for the Redskins. And Lorenzo Alexander, Marv, has made some big plays in this game.
5th punt for Sam Cook. And this is Richard Crawford handling punts in the NFL for the first time. Looks to go sideline, has an opening. The punter, Cook, is back. Crawford cuts back the other way and is taken down inside the 25-yard line by the punter, Sam Cook. Richard Crawford, the rookie from SMU, a 7th-round draft pick, has replaced Brandon Banks, who was handling the kick and punt duties until today's game. He's inactive, and that was a coach's decision.
Yeah, he just ran out of gas there at the end. You could see Sam Cook come on and make the tackle. But boy, that was a huge play in the kicking game for Richard Crawford.
Cook got off a 57-yard punt, and Crawford, who's handling punts for the first time in the NFL, he did it in college, returns for 64.
And they're already in field goal range for Forbath.
And as you mentioned, a field goal would win it. 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 25-yard line. There's a flag thrown as Morris gets the call.
Well, I think you're going to see the Redskins run it a couple times here and line up for a field goal. They're not going to take a chance throwing it in this situation. Why would you?
Offside, defense, number 20, 5-yard penalty, and we'll replay. First down.
And the call is on Ed Reed, offside.
What a turn of events. You go back to week 9 after that loss to Carolina. They lost their 3rd straight. Mike Shanahan indicated that during a press conference that he was already looking ahead to 2013. But since then, they've won 3 straight. They're 6-6. They got a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. They've played much better football since the bye.
It's a 1st down and 5. Morris. And people thought that Shanahan was giving up on the season. You take a look at some of the younger players. 2-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. We're early in overtime.
Well, I'd be genuine concern. You look at Robert Griffin III and that knee brace that he's got on his knee, and from the sidelines, it did not look good.
And here comes the field goal unit. Kai Forbath, who has had a terrific day, hitting from 48, from 49, and from 35. That's the attempt right now. He's 13 for 13 on the season. Before we see the attempt by Forbath, let's go to JB and Dan.
Dallas wins 4 out of the last 5 with this.
And Cowboys Bailey hits the game winner there from 40 yards, put Dallas Cowboys ahead 2019.
And they win it by that margin now, a half game behind the division-leading Giants. Back to Marv Albert and Rich Gannon.
All right, JB, and with Dallas coming up with that come-from-behind win, it puts even more importance on how the Redskins fare here today. And now Forbath goes back. Now he's going to... Do I see Forbath? Yeah, he's headed to the sideline, and Cousins comes back out for a 2nd down and 3. So they changed their mind. And off to Morris. They decided to try to pick up the 1st down, and he comes up short. Now, here's Forbath.
Yeah, sometimes the kickers want the ball in a certain hash. So you say, let's run it again, get him on the left hash where he wants to be, maybe.
As I mentioned, 13 for 13 for the season. 9 of the 13 have gone from 43 or more. This is from 34 yards out. Redskins looking to come from behind against the Ravens. This for the win. The Redskins in overtime have defeated the Ravens 31-28. But for Washington, the question for the rest of the way will be the physical status of RG3.
Yeah, that win may have come at a big cost to the Redskins. You look at that injury to Robert Griffin III. It did not look